everybody, and welcome back to another Crackin' Packs video. I am your host, Mr. Bevers. Today we are going to crack open a box of Theros. That's right, we're going back to Theros block. I picked up this box at the same time as I picked up the last Theros box that I opened. I got it from my local game store because they were trying to get them off the shelf. They were $100 Canadian flat, so I was pretty okay with that. This is basically about $80 US, somewhere in that range. So, I mean, let's take the packs out of the box and put them on the table like so, just because it makes it a little easier for me. Alright, and let's put the box over here now for the moment. Let's put these over here like this. There you go, and let's get started. Let's get right in. So I guess what we're looking for is a Thoughtseize, Purphoros, Elspeth, Nykthos, Shrine. I don't think there's any commons or uncommons of value, but there's probably some that are sweet to remember. So let's see, we got an Anvil Rot Raptor, Centaur Battlemaster, Nylea's Emissary, and an Artisan of Forms as our rare. Little 1/1 Heroic for 2. And we got a Mountain and an ad card. Good old ad cards, right? Who doesn't like an ad card once in a while? These cards feel so much different. You can definitely tell that they changed whoever they were printing with, or the quality that they were printing with. Like, the cards just feel different now. Like, if you were to feel like the Amonkhet cards and then feel these Theros cards, it's quite a difference. It's interesting. Glare of Heresy, Insatiable Harpy, Arena Athlete, and Celestial Archon as our rare. So there you go. Little enchant creature with Bestow for 7. However, it gives your creature flying and first strike and +4/+4, which is pretty intense. Alright. Gainsay, Warrior's Lesson, Cutthroat Maneuver, and Anger of the Gods. There you go. I don't know if that's worth much anymore, but I know it's a very well-played card. We got another ad card. So far, we've only gotten ad cards. Anger of the Gods is very good. It's just a sorcery speed, 3 damage to each creature if the creature was dealt damage. If a creature was dealt damage this way, would die this turn, you exile it instead. So, very good removal spell. Heliod's Emissary, Flamecast Wheel, Erebos' Emissary, and Temple of Abandon, one of the Scrylands. They're not worth a whole heck of a lot value-wise, but they are sweet to have. Cycle lands are always good to have. And by that I mean not cycle lands, I mean Scrylands. I'm talking cycle lands because, you know, I'm so used to the Amonkhet block right now. Destructive Revelry, Phalanx Leader, Evangel of Heliod, and Master of Waves as our first mythic. Now, this card used to be like a heavy hitter price-wise. I don't know if that's still the case. In fact, I don't see him over here at all on my price guide. Where is he? He's $3. He's a $3 mythic. So, not bad, but I mean, like, this guy was sweet. This guy was bonkers when the set was in Standard. People were playing him like nobody's business. And I mean, the fact that he's Merfolk, I think that's really what sold it. And we actually got a token this time with a land. Soldier token. So not a bad first mythic hit. I mean, obviously you would prefer like Elspeth or Purphoros, but I mean, hey, you're not going to always get the top dollar value out of your box, right? Ordeal of Purphoros, Ordeal of Thassa. The Ordeals were all very good, from what I remember. I think the worst one was probably the black one? I want to say the black one. Maybe the black one was pretty decent too. I can't remember the black one. But the green one was search for lands. The blue one was draw cards. Red one was do like a lightning bolt. Decorated Griffin. And we got a Mist Cutter Hydra. This card was worth a couple bucks back in the day as well. I don't know if it still is, but can't be countered and has protection from blue as well as haste. And it enters with X 1/1 counters. We got an ad card there with a swamp. Moving right along. Moving right along. No foils yet, so Burnished Heart, Satyr Piper, Thassa's Emissary, and Hero's Downfall. Very good removal spell. I think it's like sitting in like the $2 range right now. Just because it's not, I mean, obviously it's not standard legal anymore. We got a 1/1 Harpy token here. But Hero's Downfall is just a very good removal spell. 3 mana cost, instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker. I mean, you can't really complain about that. Being able to remove a planeswalker for 3 mana is, at instant speed, is pretty sweet. Artisan's Sorrow, Mogis Marauder, Triton Tactics, and Abhorrent Overlord. So, speaking of those black Harpy tokens that we just saw, there you go. This is the guy that makes those. So, of course, it's due to his devotion to black, I believe. Yeah. You make a 1/1 Harpy token for all of your devotion. So, who remembers the mono black devotion deck? I remember it. Whip of Erebos, Gary's, or I should say Gray Merchants, I guess is the appropriate term. Dissolve was a very good counterspell. 3 mana with Scry 1. Peak Eruption, Sealock Monster with Monstrous, and Agent of Fates. So this is a 3/2 for 3 with Death Touch, and whenever you target him with a spell, opponent sacks a creature. So not a bad little way to get people to... Sorry, each opponent. Each opponent sacks a creature, so it's kind of interesting. Interesting in like multiplayer format, I guess. Battle-wise, Hoplite. Farika's Mender. This was a very good card in Limited as well. 4/3 for 5 that lets you basically return a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Dauntless Onslaught. And Spear of Heliod. Okay, not a bad little... this was one of the legendary enchantment artifacts that they brought out. There's one for each color. So Whip was obviously for black, Spear for white, Trident for blue, Bow for green, and Hammer for red. Hammer for red, yeah. So, you know, +1/+1 to all your creatures, and you can pay 2 and tap and destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. So there you go. And we got our first foil. Our first foil is a Savage Surge. We did get a token there with a land. So our first foil is just a regular old common, but still a foil. Foil count is on the board. On the board with the foils. Anvil Rot Raptor, Nylea's Emissary, Dauntless Onslaught, and Triad of Fates. Another Harpy token there. So we're really looking for that Thoughtseize and that Nykthos Shrine to Nyx as our in the rare slots, because like those are just in the rare slots, so it'd be nice to hit them. Those are like the money rares, basically. Everything else that's of money is mythics, and so you're not bound to get too many. So there's Burnished Heart. Here's the Ordeal of Heliod. What does it do? Gives you 10 life. So the white one's not amazing either, but 10 life can be a big swing, especially in Limited. You know, basically gives you another third, right? Fanatic of Mogis. Very good way to burn people with mono red. An Ember Swallower. So there you go. There's your devotion to red right there. 2 red and 2 generic. And when it becomes monstrous, each player sacrifices 3 lands. Holy moly. I hope you don't need your lands for anything. But I guess if you can monstrous him for 7, 3 lands is probably not something you need on the battlefield. Magma Jet, very good removal spell. Little do 2 damage for 2 and instant speed and scry. So very good. Rescue from the Underworld. Arena Athlete. And speaking of the hammer, there it is. Hammer of Perforos. I don't know if that's worth anything. This card is an interesting one because in mono red it lets you sack your lands that you don't necessarily need to put a 3/3 artifact creature onto the table. Artifact enchantment creature? Yeah, enchantment artifact creature. So there's the hammer. Too bad it's not Perforos himself, because he is worth dollary dues. Karametra's Acolyte, Phalanx Leader, Flame Speaker Adept, and Tamaret, the Murder King. The Murder King. Oh no, he's murdering our king. Or is he just the king of murder? I don't know. Maybe he's both. Maybe he is a king that murders other kings. Right? Maybe that's what it is. There we go. Another Dissolve. Another Peak Eruption. Witch's Eye. Hey! There we go. There's the Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. It's like an $8 card. Nice. Nice little hit. So add a generic mana to your mana pool. I believe that this was retrofitted to say add a colorless, but I could be wrong. And then you can pay 2 generic and tap it, and you choose a color. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of every, or 1 mana for every devotion you have to that color. Equal to your devotion, yeah. So there you go. Not a bad little card. That'll go in that pile. We got the 2/2 boar token from, I think it's Curse of the Swine. Curse of the Swine that does that. Turns all of their creatures into 2/2s, or turns a certain number of, maybe it's X creatures, I can't remember. Horizon Scholar. Chronicler of Heroes. Shipwreck Singer. This card was bonkers and limited. And Steam Augury. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles, put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. And we got a forest and just a ad token. So many ads. So many ads, very little tokens. This was back in the day of them being, like, Wizards being like, we just want to put ads everywhere. Horizon Chimera, Ordeal of Nylea. So here's the Ordeal of Nylea that does, it lets you go get 2 basic lands. Put them in the battlefield tapped. So not bad for ramp, that's for sure. Thassa's Emissary. And our rare is a Reverent Hunter. So this is one of those guys that's, you know, he's a 1/1 for 3, but he enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1s equal to your devotion to green. So there you go. And we did get another foil. The foil is Dragon Mantle. And yet another ad card. Joyous day. Let's do this so that you guys can see the mythics there. And what do we got here? There we are. Put our foils down here for now. Actually, let's do it this way. Mythics there, money, things there, foils here, and this gives us another row for regular rares. Perforos's Emissary, I should say. Jeez. Okay. Hunt the Hunter, Spellheart Chimera, and 100-Handed One. 3/5 for 4, Vigilance, Monstrosity. As long as it is monstrous, it has reach and can block an additional 99 creatures. Which makes sense. And we did get another foil here, a Stone Shock Giant. This card was great in Limited as well, because he's a 5/4 for 5, and when you monstrous him, creatures without flying your opponent's control can't block. So it basically is like, alright, I hope you can deal with all my little derps on the ground that are coming at you as soon as I monsters this guy, because you can't block. And I mean, like, he becomes an 8, right? He becomes an 8/7 when you monstrous him, and then they can't block him unless they have flyers. Vanquish the Foul, Acroian Hoplite, Cutthroat Maneuver, and Colossus of Arcros. 10/10 for 8, Defender Indestructible, Monstrosity 10 becomes a 20/20. As long as it's monstrous, it has Trample and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Oh, wow, cool. We got our foil rare is a foil Hammer of Perforos. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that's something that's some crazy value, but still a pretty sweet card. I don't know. Like, let's see. What is Hammer on this list? Let's look. Hammer is not on this list, so Hammer's not even $2 by itself, which means that this is probably a couple bucks, maybe $2. But still, foil legendary enchantment artifacts are pretty cool. Pretty cool. Good for Commander, that kind of stuff, right? People like to pimp out their Commander decks, their EDH decks, their Canadian Highlander decks, whatever you want to call it. Nemesis of Mortals, Favored Hoplite, Dark Betrayal. Hey, we got another mythic. There it is, Nylea, God of the Hunt. She's a $5 mythic, so that's better than the Master of Waves for value-wise. And she's a 6/6, indestructible for 4. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5, Nylea isn't a creature. So you need to have at least 5. And by that I mean you need to have at least 4 more green symbols in the cards that you have on the table to get her to be a 6/6, right? But she gives other creatures you control trample, and for 4 mana you can give +2/+2 to target creature until end of turn. So, not bad. Very similar to Ronus, right? Very similar mechanics to Ronus. Glare of Heresy, Destructive Revelry, Spellheart Chimera, and Polis Crusher. Yet another monstrous creature, 4/4 for 4. Trample protection from enchantments, which is a lot of stuff in this set. Can't be blocked by gods. Can't be blocked by tokens you make from like the hammers and stuff. Can't be blocked by any of the creatures that you know, have bestow. Also can't be destroyed by like Spear of Heliod, things like that. You know, like there's a lot of things that are enchantments in this deck in this set. So when it deals combat to damage to a player, if it was monstrous, destroy target enchantment that player controls. So there you go. Another Harpy token. We've got a lot of Harpy tokens. We've gotten a lot of Harpy tokens and a lot of ad cards. Lots and lots of ad cards. Alright. Where are we sitting here? Keepsake Gorgon. Chronicler of Heroes. Arena Athlete. Hey, we got a Thassa. Alright. There's another Mythic. So that's a couple Mythics in a row now. That's pretty nice. We got Nylea, and then we got Thassa. Thassa's sitting at the $7 mark right now. Pretty good. Indestructible, 5/5 for 3. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, she isn't a creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Pay 2. Target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. So even though she's not a creature necessarily, she's still amazing. For 3 mana, you can basically, you know, start making your dudes unblockable and swinging in. Not bad. Not bad. Keepsake Gorgon. Triton Fortune Hunter. Warrior's Lesson. And Temple of Shylynch. Probably like a $2. Probably like a $2 rare. Another, you know, Scryland. Another Scryland. And another ad. Another ad. So many ads. These Theros. These older sets, when they like started inserting the ad cards / token cards, they just have so many ads. Sea God's Revenge, very good card in limited as well. Magma Jet, Farika's Mender, that was a very good uncommon run for limited. Temple of Mastery, or Mystery, Temple of Mystery. Another Scryland. I don't think that the Temple of Mystery is on the list of things that's worth much. Yeah. Temple of Silence is in the $2 range. Temple of Deceit is in the $2 range. But none of the other ones. Anger of the Gods is $4. There you go, see? All you gotta do is look. All you gotta do is look. So the Temple of Abandon and the Temple of Mystery are not even on the board. They're probably $1 a piece, or just over $1. Keepsake Gorgon. Chronicler of Heroes. Dauntless Onslaught. Oh yeah, we hit the Thoughtseize. We hit the Thoughtseize. We got there. $20 holla. $20 holla. Right? That's how that works. Hey, a foil plains. Nice. Nice. I like foil lands. Foil lands are pretty sweet. Man, I can't... Yeah, we hit the Thoughtseize. That's great. So we've hit the 2 most expensive rares. Our mythics have kind of been like middle of the road-ish. Like 5 and 6. Sorry, 5 and 7. And then 3. So, I mean, like... There's definitely other mythics that are worth quite a bit more, but at the same time, I'm not going to complain. Nemesis of Mortals, Sealock Monster, Ordeal of Nylea, and then Bow of Nylea. So there's the bow. This is what I was talking about. So we've got the spear, and we've got the hammer, and then we got the foil hammer, and now we've got the bow. We want the whip, right? The whip is the one. The bow is interesting. Attacking creatures you control have death touch. And then you can pay 2 and tap it, and you to choose one. And there's like 3 options, I think. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, or Bow of Nylea does 2 damage to target creature with flying, or you gain 3 life, or put up to 4 target cards from your graveyard on the bottom of your library and anywhere. So there are 4 options. And you get to only choose one, but still, it gives you like a bunch of options. A Krogma Warcaller, Satyr Piper, Decorated Griffin, and a Crowan Horse. Ah, there's nothing in it, right? It's just a horse. It's a nice little gift. We don't have to worry about it. It's not going to cause any kinds of problems. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent puts a 1/1 soldier. Oh. Where are all these dudes coming from? I don't understand. Sea God's Revenge is our first uncommon. Magma Jet again. Well, that was the same uncommon run. Sea God's Revenge, Magma Jet, and Farika's Mender. We definitely got this same uncommon run. And our rare is a Gift of Immortality. It's an interesting little card. 3 mana, enchanted creature. When it dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Return Gift of Immortality to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of the next end step. So they have to kind of like exile it to get rid of it. Ordeal of Perforos. Tormented Hero. Also was a very good card in Limited. Flamecast Wheel. Hey, we got a Xenagos. There you go. Little Planeswalker. Not like one of the... obviously, it's not Elspeth or Perforos value-wise. But still, $5. $5 Mythic. Also, Planeswalker. Who can complain about a Planeswalker? Sweet. Xenagos is pretty awesome, actually. So, he only comes in with 3 loyalty, which is kind of low. But he only costs 4. And his +1 is add X mana in any combination of red and green to your mana pool, where X is the number of creatures you control. So if you've played a creature turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3, and then drop this guy on turn 4, you can then make 3 more mana and drop another creature, or a spell, or something. So that's pretty cool. You know, in a perfect world, right? In a perfect world. Although, all worlds are not necessarily perfect, I guess. I guess that's the case, right? Nemesis of Mortals. Ordeal of Ouroboros. So there you go. This is... When you sacrifice this, target player discards 2 cards. I think that the Ordeal of Ouroboros was like the weakest probably of the other ones, just because they have so much time to plan for discarding the cards that it just doesn't really impact them that much. Prophet of Krufix. This card is very cool. I think it got banned in Commander. Did it get banned in Commander? You guys can let me know. I don't play enough Commander, but I think it got banned. Only because it untaps all your creatures and your lands on each other player's untap step, which is like, in Commander is insane because it's a 4-player format and each player starts their turn. So like, if you have guys that tap to do stuff, or you have all your mana available to do things, like, you can literally do stuff on everyone's turn, and it just like gums up the game like nobody's business. I believe that's why it got banned, but you guys can correct me below in the comments if I am incorrect in that statement. A Crowan Hoplite, Rescue from the Underworld, Coordinated Assaults, and Swan Song. This is my Swan Song. So 1 mana, counter target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Its controller puts a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And we got an island and an ad card. So many ad cards. The most amount of ad cards. Oh. Alright, there we go. Horizon Scholar, Anvil Rot Raptor, Sentry of the Underworld. This is the first copy we've seen of that card. And Fabled Hero, double strike, 2/2. Heroic, when you target him, you put a 1/1 counter on him. So when you target him, he becomes a 3/3 double strike, 4/4 double strike, 5/5 double strike. Pretty good, pretty good. And we got a foil, Chosen by Heliod. So, enchant creature, when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and it gives +0/+2 to that creature. Hey, look, there's the Golem token that the hammer makes. You know, the one thing that I wish they would do is I wish that they would actually print more foil tokens, because like having the foil hammer, the tokens that the foil hammer makes should be foil, right? That's how that works. That's how it works on MTGO. Why doesn't it work in real life? Glare of Heresy, Ordeal of Nylea, Prowler's Helm, and Enthusa, Citizen Hero. So 4/5 for 5, heroic whenever you cast a spell that targets it. Up to 3 target lands you control become 2/2 warrior creatures until end of turn. They are still lands. So there you go, you can just animate your lands. Interesting with, she's probably interesting with, what's his name? The guy from Battle for Zendikar? Or Oath of the Game Watch? I can't remember his name now. The 2 mana 2/3 that gives all your lands +2/+2. Gainsay, Stone Shock Giant, Flame Speaker Adept, and Titan of Eternal Fire. Titan of Eternal Fire. 2 packs left, and we got another ad card. What a surprise. So many ads. The most amount of ads. Centaur Battlemaster. Witch's Eye. Insatiable Harpy. Hey, we got the whip. We found the whip. Whip of Erebos. There it is. So we have everything except for the trident now. We've opened all of the legendary enchantment artifacts. So whip is very good. Creatures you control have lifelink. Very good. Pay 4 mana. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So, very good way to get your cards back from the graveyard, to get in there for some extra damage or some life gain. Because the creature that you bring back has lifelink, because the whip gives it lifelink. Alright, we're kind of low on foils. We only hit 6 total. So foils are kind of low. We hit 4 mythics, which I guess is about average. Hunt the Hunter. Prowler's Helm. Erebos' Emissary. And the last one? Daxos of Meletis. Or Meletis, or whatever. However you want to pronounce that nonsense. Melitis. Let's go with that. Right? I don't know. Anyway, he's a 2/2 for 3, and he can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Until end of turn, you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to play it. So there you have it. We got 6 foils, 4 mythics. This was about like an average box for those counts. We did hit some pretty sweet cards, though. Like, we hit a number of the lands, the Scry lands, right? We hit Temple of Abandon, Temple of Silence, Temple of Mystery. We hit Thoughtseize. We hit Nykthos, Shrine of Nyx. We hit Xenagos, Thassa, and Nylea, and Master of Waves. We hit some pretty decent mythics. We didn't hit Elspeth, or Perforos, or Erebos, or Ashiok, which would have been better than pretty much all the mythics we opened, except for Thassa. Thassa was the highest value mythic we opened. However, we did hit the Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is pretty sweet. And then, of course, we hit Anger of the Gods and Hero's Downfall and the Whip, and we hit the Foil Hammer, which is kind of cool. So yeah, not a bad box. Not amazing, but not horrible. We definitely hit the two chase rares, which is good. That gives you back some of the value. I don't think we broke even on this box, but it was close. And I mean, the fact that I got the box for fairly cheap made it better. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Mr. Rivers. Don't forget I have a store, nerdvanastore.ca, for all your single needs, as well as a Patreon that you can join to help support the channel, as well as get discount codes to the store, as well as other things like grab bags, and you'll get put into the monthly patron giveaway stuff, and every patron walks away, any patron at an MTG level walks away with something. So, you definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.